On today's episode, we're going to talk about all things mold remediation, mold removal, top marketing strategies for 2023 and going into 2024. This is going to be episode 32. Let's get into it.
This isn't just any podcast. This is your secret weapon for dominating the market.
This is the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and this is your host, Sean McMeen.
Welcome to Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast. I am your host, Sean McMeen, and today's episode is episode 32, mold remediation, mold removal, top marketing strategies. And so today we're going to do some actionable steps about what you can do to market your company, to receive, to get in front of people looking for your mold services in your specific area. So let's get into it. Last episode we talked about water damage, top marketing strategies, and this one will be all focused around mold remediation and what activities you should be focused on for internet marketing. So number one, all starts with your website. Make sure you take a look at your top 3 to 4 competitors for mold remediation in your city or in your service area. And those top 2 or 3 competitors, 3 to 4 competitors, they will tell you what Google is ranking, why they're ranking that specific client. So go to their website, use a plugin called Detailed SEO Extension in Chrome, and I'll put that in the show notes where you can download that. But if you just search out their Detailed SEO Extension, that will tell you and give you some research on what their mold pages consist of. So you want to make sure you have at least 2 mold pages on your website for services. And the first one is obvious, mold removal or mold remediation, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. You can have 2 separate pages, for one for mold removal, one for mold remediation, and cover similar topics, but just make it unique content. The other thing is you want to make sure you have a mold testing page. Even if your area doesn't allow you to do testing, you want to have a page about it, because homeowners don't know the difference. They don't know that some areas require licensing to do testing. Some areas in the country require it, some areas don't. So you want to at least cover your bases with that. So at max, you need 3 pages: mold removal, mold remediation, mold testing. Those pages will help you on the service side. Then you need to be generating at least 1 piece of helpful content on a monthly basis that will help you build authority and trust in Google's eyes that you are an expert in those areas. And so things you can cover, such as common types of mold, can you remediate mold yourself, what is black mold, those types of topics are great topics to start with. And make sure you're building your authority on those topics that you produce. You want to make sure you're linking back to the service page that's related to it. So if you did an article about why you need a independent testing company for mold after you have remediation done, make sure you're linking back to the remediation service page and your mold testing page so that it gives you that internal link structure that you need. Next, you want to make sure you showcase mold removal case studies, or if you're doing testing, mold testing case studies about jobs that you've done in the past, and then linking back to those specific services that are covered within that case study. If you don't know what I mean by case studies, look back in a couple episodes back about how to generate case studies, before and after photos, and pieces of content about the jobs that you've completed in the past. Lower priority is developing location pages for areas that you serve. Those location pages can be pages for a specific town, and then talking about mold remediation or mold testing in that area. That's a lower priority item. I wouldn't focus on that out of the gate. Now that you got your website dialed in, you want to make sure you look at online advertising. If you are below 25K per month, it's going to be difficult to be doing any sort of Google PPC ads and making some profit on it. It's definitely cheaper than water damage PPC ads, but at minimum, you want to be spending around $1,500 to $2,000 in mold removal if you're going to be in a decent size area and you have some competitors around you. So I just want to give you the reality on that. Now, what's different in Google Ads or Google PPC for mold and water is that it is cheaper. It is cheaper, but you have a lot of people that are unsure and a lot of cash jobs, right? So they won't typically, be using insurance for this, and so they're going to be shopping around for the best price. So PPC can be a little bit expensive on that side, but you can use Google Guaranteed or Google Local Service ads for mold if you have your certification set up in there for water. So you can attract mold jobs through Google Local Service ads. There is something else that you can do for paid ads. You can run Facebook ads that are pretty relatively decent cost for mold testing and mold removal, and make sure you're running lead form ads with carousel image if you're doing Facebook ads for mold removal. You want to make sure you're showing pictures of common places that mold happen, some reviews within the carousel image ad type, and make sure you're collecting information on that Facebook lead form ad. And you're also asking questions on the lead form ad to further qualify them. Don't do a lead form ad that just says, what's your name, phone number, and email address maybe. Ask specific questions like, do you own your home? What is your zip code? How long has the mold problem been, how long have you had the mold problem? You could ask questions like, are you okay with a $350, mandatory visit? Like, so I know a lot of people will charge a fee to come out and do the inspection and whatnot. So you can do those things to help further qualify it from people just kicking the tires, is what I'm saying. So Facebook ads do work for mold remediation, mold testing, but do not do them for water damage. For lead generation, I should say. Let's move to SEO. So Google Maps is obviously a big one. That's the most important for local SEO. And so you want to make sure that you have your water damage section filled out and your primary category is water damage. There is no mold remediation category, but you can put an additional service for mold remediation underneath the main water damage category. So it's like a sub-service of water damage restoration. So make sure all that is filled out as much as possible. And then you're doing some posting on Google Maps about mold remediation and case studies that you've had. The content that you create on your website, you can also link to your Google Maps listing to make sure there's a correlation there. For reputation management, obviously you want to be doing reviews from clients, business partners, contractors that you work with, family, friends, people that want to recommend you as a good company to work with. And best way to do that is via text. Low priority things are typical social media, but on water damage, I would say social media is a lower priority. On mold remediation, you can post images of nasty looking mold situations, case studies of mold situation, and common blog topics. This is lower priority stuff because the organic reach or the non-paid ad reach on social media is very minimal nowadays. So social media is more just a branding play than anything. So those are the main areas I wanted to touch on for mold remediation and mold testing. You can be very profitable on your ROI if you're setting this up correctly to get SEO leads and to also get paid ad leads. PPC is the most expensive of all of them, and unless you're above $25K to $50K per month in revenue, I wouldn't even touch it. I'd focus on the water side primarily, but if you're just going after mold and the cash jobs on the mold side, you need to have some. You need to be able to spend at least $1,500 to $2,000 on Google ads, or I wouldn't even touch it. I would do Google local services and maybe run some Facebook ads. If you have any questions, you can always reach us out at restorationmarketing.com. Happy to answer any questions, definitely if related to any of this. So hopefully you find this helpful. This is our episode 32 about top mold remediation strategies for marketing in 2023 and 2024. Until next time, this is Sean McMeen. Thanks again for following along with our journey.
You've been listening to the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast. Sean's not here to just talk the talk. He's walked the walk. With a track record of helping over 70 damage restoration companies and engaging in over 500 conversations with industry owners, he's seen it all. From digital marketing triumphs to the most ingenious growth hacks, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he's sharing them with you. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, for more, hit the website at restorationmarketing.com. See you next time on the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.